Okay, hello everybody. Um, I'm back here in China right now. I'm in Suzhou, China. And as you know, some of my other videos, I was trying to tell people what to do to make your area safer. I pretty much said everything all my advice on that subject. What I want to know is now I'm going to start to rant about what's going on in America. Um, there's China. China is to blame for this virus. I mean, for letting it get out of hand. Um, and they're passing the blame around, and some of the officials are being punished for the way things were originally handled. I think it goes deeper than that personally, but I mean, into the government. However, what irks me is the Western press, the Chinese press, really tore apart the Hubei and Wuhan officials for being slack on the virus at the beginning. Okay, now I have some stuff from WikiLeaks here. As you can see, I can move my head out of the way here. At 2 a.m. on the 23rd of January 2020, authorities issued a notice informing residents of Wuhan that from 10 a.m. all public transport, including buses, railways, flights, and ferry service, would be suspended. At the Wuhan airport and Wuhan railway station and the Wuhan metro were all closed. The residents of Wuhan were not allowed to leave the city without permission of authorities. The notice caused an exodus from Wuhan. An estimated 300,000 people were reported to have left Wuhan by train alone before the 10 a.m. lockdown. Okay, by the afternoon of 23rd January, the authorities began shutting down some of the major highways leaving Wuhan. The lockdown came 2 days before Chinese New Year, the most important festival in the country, and traditionally the peak traveling season where millions of Chinese travel across the country. Okay, so 2 a.m. to 10 a.m., not including car traffic, 300,000 people left Wuhan. Okay, probably most of them infected. 300,000 people left Wuhan in a span of 8 hours. Okay, that's the minimum, not even including, that's just trains, right? Not airplanes. Wuhan has an international airport. All the rich people bailed, and the richest people bailed, and the people with cars bailed, and 300,000 of the poor people bailed on the trains. Okay, this is what set into action the whole pandemic. Right here, right? Wait a minute. Right here. 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then the rest of the day, by the 23rd by the afternoon of the 23rd, they shut down some of the major highways leaving Wuhan. Okay, right here. Okay. Now, I wish there was a little highlighter on this thing. Anyway, so what parallels can we draw from that when we look at the United States? Okay, everybody tearing apart the mayor or whoever it is in charge of Wuhan, the Hubei provincial bureaucratic big shots, I don't know what they call them. Communist Party guys, they're all getting their heads chopped, right? And let's look. Now, what parallels can we draw from that? Right? Let's see. Here I have lockdowns. Hubei, this is the same thing. Wait a minute. Another one here. Let's see. The discipline inspection authorities in China have strengthened supervision taken. Okay, wait a second here. Okay. 2 other government officials in Wuhan were penalized following health officials removed from office in another city in the province hit hard by the coronavirus recently. Misconduct, including dereliction of duty and misappropriation of relief funds. Okay, this is a little bit later. And issued Central Commission disciplinary inspection. Disciplinary inspection and supervision organs at all levels should be perform their duties to promote the implementation of joint prevention control. Okay, this is some of the things that they did. But look at they took the head people, right? And let's go back here. The head bureaucrats had their heads on the chopping block. They said they were removed from duty, official censures. You know what that means here? That means they got shipped off somewhere to a gulag, or they disappeared, right? I mean, probably forever. That's what they do here. They say, you know, when they take out officials for corruption here, or whatever, a dereliction of duty, you're pretty much done, right? Okay. Now, what's happening in the United States with this asshole Cuomo in New York? People are making him out to be some kind of a hero. He did the exact same thing. I'm not a fan of Trump, but Trump said we need to, you know, lock down New York, not lock down New York State, and quarantine the city. Duh. That's what they did in Wuhan, right? And they nipped it. They shut down the source of the virus. They tracked down all those people that left Wuhan. They tracked them. A lot of them went over. All the rich people bailed. Kind of like what's going on in New York. All the rich folks that have their places down in Florida and around their second homes, they were all allowed to leave, carrying the virus with them. Okay, granted, their virus already was in a lot of places in America, but it was mostly New York was the epicenter, and everyone was allowed to leave, and it was because Cuomo wouldn't allow anyone to even think about quarantining the city. This is at the same par, and everybody escaped. All these people escaped. All the rich people escaped before they started putting in the stringent controls. Why are they making him out to be a hero? He's a jackass like the mayor of Wuhan, or whatever they call him, the head of Wuhan, and the Hubei province bureaucrats. He needs to be strung up like the rest of them. What a complete doofus. Everybody saw what was going on in China. And Trump let him get away with this. Trump is the president. I'm not a fan of him, but the ball's in his court. He's the one that can decide. He can invoke super war powers, right? And he can, or whatever they are, the War Powers Acts or Patriot Act, whatever you need, and he can do whatever he wants in an emergency. Now, why are they making these governors out to be like heroes? And then you have Cuomo trying to grab all the resources for New York when they're needed just as much in a lot of other places in the country. He's getting all the limelight. He's a fucker, man. And he should be treated the same way as the mayor of Wuhan. You know, he's the governor of New York, or whoever the head bureaucrat of Hubei province is. I don't know what they call them in China. He was like the governor. Those guys all got sacked. A minimum of sacked. They're probably disappeared, right? Why are Americans idolizing these jackasses? Look what's happening in America now. That's because of people like that. And it's not just Cuomo. Pretty much every governor and every mayor in all the major cities are doing the same thing. But New York was the main epicenter, and, you know, kind of like Wuhan, right? That's my rant. What else do I got here? I pulled up some other stuff. I just got on the internet here. What do we got? Here we go. Let me see what we got here. Get this out of the way here. I think what they did is wrong, actually. He's talking about what they're talking when they're talking about prohibiting interstate travel. I think what they did is wrong. It was reactionary. I think it was illegal, but we worked it out amicably. I'm not sure. No state should be suing police to prohibit interstate travel in any way, Cuomo said. Okay. Restrict travel because they're having problems down in Florida. A lot of New Yorkers are going down. We don't want that, he said. This is Trump saying that. Trump said earlier Saturday that the possible quarantine would be enforceable and restrict travel from parts of the tri-state area. He also cautioned that any quarantine would affect truckers from outside New York area. Okay. Okay. Look at what Cuomo said on CNN that he would sue Rhode Island if the state did not roll back the policy of stopping all cars with New York license plates. Okay, that's how they did it in China. They stopped all cars with Hubei license plates. They had one in my parking garage where I live, and they towed it away. And the guy was left his car there, but he was in Wuhan. He went to Wuhan to visit his family for the Spring Festival, the Chinese New Year. Everybody gets like a month and a half of vacation, right? He happened to be out of town. They didn't get him because he was still in Hubei anyway. Maybe not Wuhan. He had Hubei license plates. They towed his car away. And they tracked down all of those people that escaped that were still in China. They tracked down most of them, probably not all of them, but the vast majority of them. And they quarantined them. The ones that were infected, some of them tried to run. Those are the videos you see of them grabbing people out of the building. They had one in Suzhou. And the guy was infected, and he refused to go into quarantine. He refused to turn himself in, and he infected a bunch of people in his building. Right? And look at that. This is exactly, Rhode Island was doing exactly what they were supposed to do. But the governor expects the two states will work it out amicably. I think what they did was wrong. It was reactionary. What a jackass. Everything, China paid a price for the virus, but they were able to finally control it mostly. I mean, I'm sure it's still running around. We probably don't hear about it. Where I live, we don't see ambulances. There's nothing on social media. We dodged a bullet because we were stopping the people from Wuhan from coming here. And a lot of other provinces did the same thing. Now, what the fuck is going on? Why isn't Cuomo should be out in the street getting tarred and feathered for this? I don't know, man. That's about it. It's everything. Exact same thing went on in China, and the people that tried to stop the people that tried to stop the virus are now heroes. The people that allowed it to spread are villains. That's the way it should be in America. You cannot deify these people like Cuomo. He's not doing a good job. Nobody that I've seen, evidently whoever's in charge in Rhode Island probably should get a good pat on the back for doing this. Policy of stopping all cars with New York license plates. Some people get it, but most people don't. These guys need to be punished. Look how many people are dying because of Cuomo's stupid New York elitism. You know what I'm talking about. That's New Yorkers think they're the shit and think they can trample all over the rest of the country. And I'm not just saying that because I hate the Yankees, but I'm saying it because I hate the Yankees. But anyway, That's my rant for today. You guys got to get your shit together over there in America. I mean, you don't take shit. In LaSalle County, where I'm from, the county sheriff won't let my nephews and their friends close down Dayton. It's a small town. There's 3 roads going in and out, and they won't let them close those roads and check people, have a checkpoint. Well, that's what I've been told. I haven't spoken. I told people to try and get me an audience with the sheriff. The mayor of Ottawa, the same way. That's my hometown. Dayton's a small town outside of Ottawa. That's for those of you that don't know, it's like about 90 miles southwest of Chicago. And it would be so easy just to seal those places off and set up checkpoints everywhere and check everybody and stop it before. Now, those assholes they're gonna let it go through there, and it's gonna kill all my friends. I'm 59 years old. How many of my friends are gonna die because they're just a bunch of limp dick weasels, man? You guys got to take control. Take control of your neighborhoods, man. 1 road in, 1 road out. Everybody gets checked. Everybody gets taken care of. Everybody gets looked at. Everybody gets, until the testing, and when the testing comes, you could start testing people too. But check your temperature. Everybody wears a mask. Nobody goes in unless you live there or unless you have some really important business there. That's how it has to be. And until that's done, you guys are doomed. I mean, a lot of your friends, some of your family are going to die because of this bureaucratic foot dragging and wishful thinking. All right. That's all I got to say right now. Let me see if I can get. So, anyway. Cube's out.